Hello my diamond art friends, my name is Ilene and welcome to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you for your continued support and friendship. Hope everybody is doing well. I am going to film my weekly whip and chat. And this week what I decided to do, since Florida is getting ready to be hit by Hurricane Helene, I would do a whip and chat on hurricanes, just information and then some facts. But first, we're going to be extremely, I feel, lucky here in the Tampa area. We're only going to get, like, from what they say right now, it's Wednesday, late afternoon, we're going to get just tropical storm force winds and rain. Not that that still can't potentially be harmful, but they are forecasting as of this evening for it to hit the Big Bend, Panhandle, Tallahassee area as a Category 4 tomorrow evening. So the people of Northwest Florida can really use any positive vibes and just your thoughts, and it's going to be a really difficult couple days, and then of course the aftermath, whatever that is for them. So anyway, I'm sure I don't think I put it on Facebook yet, but I did get my clout alien putty from Make Your Own Wall Art. There it is, and I did put it in my 6th placer. Well, I put it over the with some purple I already had in there, if you can see it or not. And then I'm going to be using this placer and this one, which has green, as you can see, or lucky. In it, I'm going to use this for the ABs. And when I get to some of the ABs, I'll show you a trick that Chris showed on TikTok in order to be able to place ABs using alien putty if you're having trouble. But so yeah, that's gonna be what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a little sip of water, and then we will get started. Oh, I did want to show this though before I start. I did buy a couple years ago, when the last hurricane came through Tampa and was pretty bad, I bought myself like a solar weather radio, and you can crank it as well. So yeah, they have it's a reading lamp to open. It has the little crank for you to kind of juice it up if you need to. But it's got a weather radio and an AM FM radio. And yeah, so I have that nice and charged up and ready for me to use should I need it if we lose power. But yeah, I've got plenty of other lights, flashlights and stuff like that. That was like a must for me when I went through the last hurricane. Not that I didn't have a regular radio with batteries, but I wanted a weather radio. But anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do 20. And then we'll start with the facts about hurricanes, and go from there. But I'm going to lay some of these down first. And before, though, I start with my information, how many of y'all got clout from Make Your Own Wall Art as well off the Etsy shop? I am really glad I did. I know that they're coming out with latte, I think tomorrow, and I am not going to get it. Trying to after buying clout, and I did one purchase from Temu to get a canvas for Mushy's December event. I'm putting myself on a no-buy for a little bit. Just got other things I need to save money for, and I've got plenty of canvases and stuff, and I'm getting overwhelmed by my stash, so it's time to, just not buy. Like, I want to when I buy them, know it's something I'm going to do and have it planned out that that's when I'm going to do it. So the next several months is going to be what I have here. And you may have seen the canvas before that I've shown it, but I will show it again when I go to cut it up, and that's going to be that. So that's like my plan for right now. And then any other, like, if I decide to do a product review package or something like that. Okay, anyway, moving on to what we're going to talk about now, which I said was going to be hurricanes. So let me just move my paper over. So hurricanes are giant tropical storms that produce heavy rainfall and super strong wind. Actually printed one that was for like younger folks, because I didn't want to have to say all the technical meteorologist terms, because Lord knows I have a hard enough time saying things without trying to add that into, you know, me talking. Anyway. Hurricanes form over warm ocean waters near the equator. The warm, moist air above the ocean's surface rises, causing air from the surrounding area to be sucked in. This new air then becomes warm and moist and rises too, beginning a continuous cycle that forms clouds. The clouds then rotate with the spin of the earth. If there is enough warm water to feed the storm, a hurricane forms. Oop, didn't have a drill on there. Hurricanes rotate around a circular center called the eye, where it is generally calm with no clouds. Surrounding the eye is the eye wall, the most dangerous part of a hurricane, with the strongest winds, thickest clouds, and heaviest rain. Put a couple more down. Oh, dang it. It was only 4 and I had 5 on there. Trying to multi-place. Doesn't always go as planned. Most hurricanes occur harmlessly out at sea. However, when they move toward land, they can be incredibly dangerous and cause serious damage. A little bit of these down before I read the next one. Okay. The strongest spiraling wind of a hurricane can reach speeds up to 320 miles per hour, strong enough to rip up an entire tree and destroy buildings. I do hope that's not the case with this one coming. In the southern hemisphere, hurricanes rotate in a clockwise direction, and in the northern hemisphere, they rotate in an anti-clockwise direction. This is due to what is called the Coriolis force produced by the Earth's rotation. Some drills down. When a hurricane reaches land, it often produces a storm surge. This is when the high winds drive the sea toward the shore, causing water levels to rise and creating large crashing waves. Storm surge can reach 6-meter high and can extend over 150 kilometers. I know they're calling for quite a decent amount of storm surge, even in our area, in my area. I don't live in a flood zone. I don't live that close to the bay. My love's house actually is a couple blocks from the bay, so he would be one that would need to worry about that. His joke to me, usually when it comes to like evacuations, when they call for them, is because I worry about that. Like, when does he need to evacuate or whatever? But he tells me that he considers himself he's in zone, I guess, B technically, because he's kind of up on a incline. But anyway, he says technically he feels that he is, or no, did he tell me A minus last year? I can't remember. Whatever it was like they were calling for evacuation of like zone A and B, and he told me he was like a B minus. And I'm like, what does that have? There's no such thing. You're in zone A, B, C, D, whatever. Like, I'm in zone D. Like, I know what zone I'm in. And he tells me B minus, I think, was what he said. I think it was B minus. It was a couple of years ago. I don't remember. But he's actually staying at his aunt, so he's perfectly going to be perfectly safe where he is. Anyway, hurricanes are also called cyclones or typhoons, depending on where they occur. In the Atlantic Ocean and Northwest Pacific, they are hurricanes. In the Northwest Pacific, they are typhoons, and in the South Pacific and Indian Oceans, they are cyclones. Okay, let's see. Guess we're going to do the check mark next, which is 40. The largest hurricane on record was typhoid. Can you tell I'm a nurse? Anyway, Typhoon Tip, which occurred in 1979 in the Northwest Pacific, with a diameter around 2,220 kilometers. It was nearly half the size of the United States. All right. Couple more down. Hurricanes are given names by the World Meteorological Organization so that they can be distinguished. Each year, tropical storms are named in alphabetical order according to the list produced. That name stays with the storm if it develops into a hurricane. The names can only be repeated after 6 years. And actually, I believe they retired a couple names because the storms were so bad. But that I'm not sure of because it doesn't say that, and I think I just read that somewhere. So I could be mistaken though. So did that move? I don't know if it moved or not. So sorry if it did. All right, so I've got some more facts, but some of them are just kind of like facts about hurricanes, but then there may be some just specific storms or just things of note to discuss about hurricanes, just to kind of basically, the article that I got this information from was like 50 hurricane facts that will blow you away. I don't know if they're going to blow us away, but we're going to go ahead and see what they have there. Let me just get my next one out since I think I got all these. I probably didn't though. I always miss them. I always miss them. That's normal. Number 10. Was toying with actually just doing a voiceover for this one, but I want to see which ones I feel better doing. Do I want to do voiceover when I do my whip and chat and just tape myself, or do I want to do the whip and chat while I'm diamond painting? Either which way, I feel like they take the same amount of time, so it's not like anything's going to be more time consuming than the other one. But yeah, see, I did miss a check mark. I saw one, but oh well, we'll get back to that one. Get some more drills down, and then this color, and then we'll get to the facts. All right. So the first thing is it kind of just talks about like the different word, how the word hurricane came about. So it says, if you live near a coast, you've probably heard the word hurricane mentioned. Ad nauseum each summer and fall. But what is not as well known is the source. The origin of the word hurricane comes from a Taino indigenous Caribbean word, huracan, meaning evil spirits of the wind. Hurricanes are defined as tropical cyclones with suspended with excuse me, here I go, reading words that aren't there. Hurricanes are defined as tropical cyclones with sustained wind speeds greater than 74 miles per hour. There is also different terminology used across different parts of the world, and we went over this already, but I'm going to say it again. In the western Pacific Ocean, tropical cyclones that reach hurricane strength are called typhoons. In the Indian Ocean and South Pacific, tropical systems are referred to as cyclones through their life cycle. So here are some information about some hurricane oddities that may be interesting to some of you, and maybe not. I guess we're going to find out. So, the U.S. government routinely flies planes and drones on reconnaissance missions into tropical storms and hurricanes for research purposes. The first recon flight into a hurricane occurred in 1943 during World War II. Well, that obviously wasn't a drone, but gotcha. The Fujiwara effect occurs when two tropical cyclones spinning in the same direction or dance around their common center. A recent example of this phenomenon included Tropical Cyclone Saroja and Odette off the coast of Australia in 2021. Hurricanes occur regularly in every basin except for the South Atlantic and Southeast Pacific, where wind shear or wind that vary in strength and or direction with altitude and disrupt tropical development is too strong. That away. That wind shear will break up any storm. It's good. Hurricanes routinely unearth shipwrecks and wash up strange items like buoy bombs and bananas. One of the most recent instances of a shipwreck appearing was after Hurricane Nicole struck Florida in the fall of 2022. The only hurricane on record in the South Atlantic Basin made landfall in Brazil in 2004. The storm was called Catarina, and it damaged more than 30,000 homes. The storm also killed 3 people. After Hurricane Ian impacted Florida in September of 2022, Florida resident Joseph Cook began to search for treasure along the coast of St. Augustine. What Cook discovered was a huge, beautiful diamond ring worth $40,000. Cook immediately took to social media to try and find the ring's rightful owner. And I did read that he did in fact find that rightful owner, and they were able to get their ring back. Think I got all those? All right, so we're gonna do I know 5 are ABs. I know the question sign is ABs. So I think what I'm going to do is do the number 4. I know that they are not, and that is symbol 23. And then I'm going to show you the ABs after I read a little bit. That'll be like the last thing I do. Hopefully my microphone lasts, because I didn't charge it. An oft-told story that said only 1 out of 2 dozen people survived a hurricane party in an oceanfront building in Pash, Christian, Mississippi during Hurricane Emile in 1969 appears to be exaggerated. The legend was perpetrated by one of the 6 survivors until it was debunked in 2000 by the others. I don't think I would attend a hurricane party. I sure wouldn't. I sure would not. I don't like riding out storms by myself, which I've had to do a couple times. But, because it is a little scary. But, I did promise myself, like, the next, like, hurricane that comes that will, hit our area, I will not be riding anything out on my own. I will figure out a place to go, even if I can't be with Jamie. I will find a place, so I'm not gonna be doing that by myself. But anyway, that's just because it was really, really hard the last time, kind of being by myself and no electric for 4 or 5 days. And just, yeah, it was a lot. But my neighbors did look out for me, and we looked out for each other, so that was kind of nice in the building. So, and well, a couple of us still live here since the last one, so that's good. But anyway, I'm talking too much about whatever. All right. Scientists were able to send a drone directly into the eye of Hurricane Sam in 2021, recording wind gusts up to 91 miles per hour and waves up to 42 feet in height. Not only that, it sent back some really incredible videos. No better sound than that pop. Put drills down using alien putty. Nothing better than that. Love it. Love, love, love that sound. Okay, let me keep going here. Birds fly downwind in the gales that spiral into the center of a hurricane and can sometimes become stuck in the eye. I know they've shown like video and pictures before of like birds flying around because they can't get out once they kind of get stuck in the eye. Hurricane season in the Atlantic runs from June to November, but hurricanes have occurred in every month of the year. Do you know what, except for just one month? Do any of you know which month has never had a hurricane develop in it? That would be February. Ooh. Cooler waters generally keep hurricanes from hitting the west coast of the U.S., except hurricanes need warm waters to thrive. However, hurricane-like storms moved over Long Beach, California in 1939 and San Diego in 1858 before official record keeping began. Hurricanes can and do cause snowfall in the mountains of the eastern United States when their moisture moves into cold enough air in the autumn season. Hurricane Wilma in 2005 and Hurricane Sandy in 2012 produced snowfall in this manner. Ideas raised over time to prevent hurricanes include seeding clouds and towing icebergs, none of which will work because the storms are too large and contain too much energy. It also makes note here that there was some discussion on bombing the storm, but again, it said that would never work. So, I guess, you know, so much for the ex-president's thought on that. Anyway, enough about politics. Despite what you may see in the movies or television shows, lightning is rare inside hurricanes. Although any lightning in a hurricane's wall may indicate a strengthening storm, as Hurricane Ian strengthened off of the west coast of Florida in October of 2022, immense eye-wall lightning was documented by a satellite and was photographed by storm chasers for the first time. But if I remember correctly, that the lightning was seen because Ian was intensifying in strength. And it was like they told us that when you see that, that means that it's strengthening. You know, because I have to pay attention when storms hit Florida, even if it's like may not affect us, me at all. Anyway, I am just gonna do the little dot. Infamous cyclones. Two hurricanes, Michael in 2018 and Matthew in 2016, went viral on social media because of their skull-like appearance on weather satellite photos. Huh. Hurricane Andrew made history on October 24th, 1992, as one of the strongest hurricanes to make landfall, when it did so as a vicious Category 5 striking Miami, Florida. However, Andrew was almost known by a different name. And it doesn't say which name here it was almost known by. Hurricane Katrina was the costliest hurricane on record when it came ashore in 2005. Katrina's storm surge was as high as 28 feet on the coast of Mississippi, where the most of the damage was done, but more than 1,000 people lost their lives in New Orleans when the levee system around the city failed. The longest tracking tropical cyclone on record was Cyclone Freddy, which traversed the Indian Ocean for 37 days in early 2023. Freddy traveled more than 5,000 miles from Indonesia to Africa before eventually wreaking havoc in Madagascar and Mozambique. I'm going to do some ABs now, just because just thinking about it, so I can show it while I'm doing this. Hurricane Floyd was famous for flooding in September 1999. More than a foot of rain in Virginia and North Carolina killed more than 3,000 chickens and more than 30,000 hogs. So what I'm doing right now is Chris, the inventor and owner of Make Your Own Wall Art, had done a TikTok about when you're using alien putty with ABs. So what he did is he had said you could use a paper towel or some sponge and get it wet. He said he had a special concoction. I don't know what that is, but I just have water and I just dip my diamond art pen with the putty in it. I don't know if I can get it to focus. And then you just pick up your ABs. Back this up a little bit so you can see. So these are ABs. You just pick them up and then you place them, and then you would just kind of dab the tip again when it starts to dry out, like when it starts to feel like it's grabbing. That's what I got from his TikTok. And you can also do that with the multi-placers for the ABs without like kind of getting any of the AB coating on in your putty. So if you guys didn't see that TikTok, that is what he showed, and I've been doing it that way since I saw it, whatever day that was it last week? And it is working. It is fantastic. I went and I had some sponges under the sink and I started doing it right away. And he said you could even use a paper towel, so I'm sure that works just fine. Anyway, Hurricane Leslie in 2018 had one of the most complex tracks, looping around almost 3 times in the North Atlantic before making landfall in Portugal, where it knocked down 250,000 trees. Worldwide, Typhoon Tip in 1979 holds the lowest pressure record for a hurricane at 25.69 inches of mercury, or 870 millibars, which I have no idea what that is. But it sounds like, that's some important and impressive numbers. Wrong Way Lenny is the nickname for the strongest November Atlantic hurricane on record, which moved backward compared to almost every other storm on record, from west to east in the Caribbean, eventually striking Puerto Rico as a Category 4 storm. The most tornadoes spawned by a single tropical cyclone was during Hurricane Ivan, which caused 120 twisters to touch down in 2013. Oh shoot, didn't want it. Well, it seemed to be okay. Right there. Got a little buddy right there. It's gonna be alright now. It's gonna be alright, alright, alright. Okay. In 2005, Hurricane Wilma became the most powerful Atlantic storm on record, with the lowest barometric pressure at 26.05 inches of mercury, 882 millibars, and at location east of Belize, it was also estimated to have sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. Hurricane Harvey dropped more than 60 inches of rain on Texas in August of 2017. Setting a new rainfall record for a tropical cyclone in the U.S. and causing severe flooding. The entire Houston region was inundated with more than 2 feet of rain. Any more fives? Yeah, I see one. Check a couple more. Check more. No, I don't see any more. Okay. There were 0 tropical storms or hurricanes in the Atlantic Basin during August 2022, the first time since researchers began using satellites to observe storms in 1967. And there was also no activity July 3rd and 30th for the first time since 1941. What are we going to do next? Let us do number 7, which is 30. Bring it back down because I'm not doing ABs anymore. Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Harvey are tied for the most expensive hurricanes to hit the United States, according to NOAA. Total damages costs were $125 billion for each of these devastating storms. Google's highest search traffic number since 2004 was for the term hurricane spiked in September 2017. That month, Hurricane Irma hit the United States. Then, Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico. Hurricane Irma was the #1 search term in all of 2017. Irma was actually the first hurricane that I don't even want to call it the pleasure of experiencing, but it was the first hurricane that I experienced since moving down here to Florida. I moved here in 2007, and then we had tropical storms, but no hurricanes. And it was actually a couple years after I moved into this apartment. So I moved into this apartment in July of 2014. So actually wrote out the hurricane here, and all the hurricanes that I've had to deal with since have been written out in this apartment. Anyway, so that is something, I guess. All right. There have been as many as 4 hurricanes in the Atlantic Basin concurrently. This happened in 1893 and 1998. Jupiter has a hurricane-like feature called the Big Red Spot, which has been active for over 300 years. Rotates at 400 miles per hour and is bigger than the Earth. Oh, I need to turn the page. Help if I turn the page. Okay. If I got all the 7s. There's one. I'm gonna say yes. And I'm gonna do the question mark next, I guess. The question mark? Am I gonna do the question mark next? Or the music symbol? Let's do the music symbol, because I don't think that is an AB. No, it isn't. Just because There's more of those than there are question marks. Anyway, next little fact. In 2019, AccuWeather announced the real impact scale for hurricanes. Unlike the Saffir-Simpson scale, which has been used by meteorologists for decades, but classified storms by wind speed only, this innovative scale is based on a broad range of important factors, including storm surge and flooding. The 6-point scale ranges from 1 to 5, and it also includes a lesser than 1 rating. I'll take the lesser than 1 rating, please. Ooh, nuggets. Didn't put that in the right spot. Didn't eyeball it in the right spot. Get okay. Ooh, come on. According to the University of Utah, a large hurricane releases the energy of 10 atomic bombs every second. The heat generated by the average hurricane is equivalent to a 10 megaton nuclear bomb exploding every 20 minutes, NOAA says. The energy used by the entire human race up to 1990 was only 20% of the power of an average hurricane. Now we've got some hurricane pop culture to go over or to learn about. So let's go ahead and this down and then we'll do these. In 1772, Alexander Hamilton, 17-year-old office clerk at the time, wrote a detailed account of the hurricane that struck St. Croix in the Caribbean. Locals were so impressed with his writing that they sent him to the U.S. mainland, where he joined George Washington's staff and then played a crucial role in ratifying the U.S. Constitution. Communities around Communities named Hurricane exist in Alabama, Kentucky, Missouri, North Carolina, Utah, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. Wisconsin? Seems kind of far away. And Utah, but whatever, I guess. They're not even close, but that's okay. A mountaintop in Washington state is also named Hurricane Ridge. Let's see if I have any more of those. I do not. We are going to do the upward facing pyramid, which is 8. Let me grab it, sorry. All right, an aspiring young reporter working for a small TV station in Houston achieved fame after being the first to broadcast a weather radar image showing a tropical storm during Hurricane Carla in 1961. That news reporter would go on to host the CBS Evening News. His name? Anybody remember? That was Dan Rather. A surprise hurricane nearly killed iconic Hollywood actress Katharine Hepburn in 1938. Weather forecasting wasn't what it is today, leading to many, including Hepburn, being caught off guard by a hurricane. Initially, the cyclone was forecast to make landfall in Florida. Hepburn, her mother, and their maid fled from their flooded house during the height of the storm to find a working phone. There have been 6 films in the last 100 years titled Hurricane or The Hurricane, or The Hurricane. I guess it's whichever one you prefer. One of the most famous sports teams containing hurricane is the Carolina Hurricanes. They are a National Hockey League team in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes hockey team was named 1 year after Hurricanes Bertha and Fran devastated eastern North Carolina in 1996. We're almost done. Last one. Or last couple. Last page, anyway. Also famous in the world of sports, the University of Miami Hurricanes. The school's athletic programs are perhaps best defined by its legendary football team, which has won 5 national titles. The teams were named by the Great Miami Hurricane, which hit the city as a Category 4 storm on September 18, 1926. Hurricanes, the cocktail drinks, were first named in 1938 at Pat O'Brien's bar in New Orleans, or New Orleans, whichever way you want to say it. It was so named because the glass it was served in resembled a hurricane lamp. While a hurricane lamp does protect a candle from high winds, the etymology of its name is more complicated. Okay. Two more, and these are going to be really quick. The bands named the Hurricanes hail from the United States. Band that are named the Hurricanes hail from the United States, Serbia, Britain, and Australia. Good day, mate. Anyway. I can be a little silly today. I don't know why. Probably my way of just dealing with stress. Does that look like they're all gotten up? I think so. Yep. Okay, and then our last one. One of the most famous title songs containing the word hurricane is, come on, I know you want to sing it. It's Rock You Like a Hurricane, released by the band The Scorpions in 1983. Come on, I know you guys got that song in your head now. Rocking like a hurricane. Anyway, there, I gave you a little bit of a song and a little bit of a song. All right, anyway, so that's gonna be, I think, my within chat. Some hurricane facts. I was gonna do a video on owls, but changed my mind, and why, I don't know, but I did. And I hope I didn't make a little flub by deciding to do hurricane facts instead, but you know what? I'm doing it. So anyway, I know, as I said, if you wouldn't mind just any of you that are not in the path of the storm, just send some positive thoughts to the Panhandle, the Big Bend area of Florida. Um, I hope everyone there stays safe. I really hope that it doesn't intensify to a category 4 like I saw before I came on here. And just know that if you listen to this and you're up there, I'm thinking about you, a fellow person who resides in Florida. I understand the anxiety. I understand, I understand it all, and know that I'm thinking of you, and that's gonna be my video. So yeah, just send some positive thoughts up to those folks if you wouldn't mind. Anyway, that's my video. Please like and comment, and as always, have yourself a nice day or night, whatever it is for you. Take care. Happy diamond painting. And until my next video, bye.